Hello everyone, it is Emily with Claim Brilliance, the permanent weight loss coach. And usually I have systems that I have in place. And one of those systems is that I wake up typically about 4:44, between 4:44 and 5 o'clock. And today it didn't happen. Yesterday was kind of a hard day for me last night. And I quit. Well, today I woke up and I actually did wake up at 5 o'clock, but unmotivated. Usually what I do is I go downstairs and I get a drink of water, and then I come back upstairs and I get ready for the gym, and I'll say my prayers and blah, 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 and I make my bed. Well, now it is 10:08. My bed is not made, and I have not gone to the gym yet. And yesterday I quit. And today I lapsed and I also quit. Well, I went into old patterns of just wanting to not deal and not show up for myself. And that's just real life sometimes, right? And I was scrolling and I ran into this hilarious meme that was like, she says she's having a bad day, and it was awesome. Anyways, and it was like, girl, you don't get to have a bad day. Go wipe your tears away and take a shower, get on a bomb outfit and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, and today I thought, and at 10:09 I was like, okay, well, they're right. I don't actually want to waste my day. And I do have to go to my regular 9 to 5 tonight, and I don't want to waste my day. So sometimes we can emotionally relax or emotionally vomit or whatever it is you want to call it. And so I'm downstairs and I'm like, okay, the day is not over. The day is not over just because I started my morning not how I usually do. And I can still go up and make my bed. So I am here recording for you that I am going to make my bed. I got dressed to exercise. I'm gonna go ahead and exercise here. And sometimes we just have to think, like, what is the next best thing to do? What is the right thing to do right now? And we have systems, and that's what habits are for, right? Habits and systems are so that we can be in a routine that we don't have to think about. And it's interesting when you do something for so long that when you don't do it, when you're like, you snap yourself out of it and you're like, okay, my motivation doesn't have to be there for me to take action. I know what I typically do, and I know the patterns that I have set up and the systems that I've set up. And one of those patterns and systems is to make the bed. Why do I make the bed? It is because it is an instant win. And some people are like, oh, just spread it really quick and it's good enough. For me, I'm like, no, I actually have a way that I make my bed that when I look at it, I get to be proud that I showed up and I did something perfect, because the rest of my life might not be perfect. In fact, it's not. But the one thing that I can be proud of is the way that I make my bed. And so make your bed. But more than making your bed anyways, what are your systems? What are your habits? What are the things that you have set up that when you don't want to do it, you're so in the routine of doing it that you show up for yourself? And you show up and do that thing, not because you want to, but because you don't have to think about it. It's already just automatic. And so here I am. I was like, okay, do I show that how I make my bed, or do I just record? And I think at first my intention was to go ahead and do like a morning routine at 12, but I don't think I'm going to. If that's something y'all want to see is my morning routine, then let me know and I will do it for you, because I love you and you're awesome. And I love morning routines, like morning routine videos. anyways, if that's something you want, I'm more than willing to do it. Besides that, it's like, what are your systems? What are your routines that you need to set in place so that you can have success? That you don't have to think about it. That's the thing, is it's boring, right? And our routines are boring. Success, it's actually pretty boring. It's not something like, oh, I did this and I did that and I made this new recipe and I did that new thing. Most success comes from doing the same thing over and over and over again. And that's how we build our lives. That's how we build success, is doing the same things even when we don't want to, because that's what we do. Showing up on purpose, and it's not glamorous and it's not exciting most of the time. And sometimes it's hard work, right? Like that discipline, being able to set boundaries and say no, and being able to have those routines and habits, that's what it's all about. And so what are yours? What are your boundaries? What are your habits? What are your routines that you have set in place that even when the morning didn't go as planned, an unmade bed, I haven't worked out yet, haven't read my scriptures, haven't done those things, but the day's not over. And so what are your routines that you don't have to think about it? You don't have to think about it. You do it automatically. And sometimes it's just waking up and getting, like, what's your routine? And I'm trying to think of like patterns. So usually when we go to a certain place, whether it's work or the store or whatever, we go the same route. We do the same things. We put on our shoes the same way. We put on our pants, our shirt. We get dressed, we shower, we do things the same way. We drive the same way because it is routine, because we have set a pattern. So what are your patterns of success? And what are your patterns of failure? Sometimes we need to say, okay, I'm not going to look at how to succeed because I don't know. Sometimes we just don't know, but we do know how to fail, right? And so being able to say, well, I know if I don't show up, then that's a failure. I know if I don't make my bed, that's the beginning of a messy house. If I don't drink enough water, then I know that I'll overeat. I know that if I don't, or if I do eat too late at night, something I do, I'm going to struggle to hit my goals, right? And so it's setting up the patterns, knowing what will make you fail, and then doing the opposite of that thing. Anyways, so the whole point of this video is for you guys to look at your habits and routines and be able to say, these are the things that I do, even when I want to quit, that it's normal to want to quit. Even when I want to quit, even if I start my day and my night the wrong way, that it's not too late. You don't have to wait for a new year. You don't have to wait for even a new week. You don't even have to wait for a new day. You can wait for a new hour and then get to work. A new minute and get to work. Yeah, all right. Happy day and show up. And it doesn't matter. You're not too late. So just figure it out and set up your routines and your habits, and know that it's boring, and it's okay, because boring creates progress. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.